My name's Sean Gilmore. I'm asked to be on this video because I use a teaching method, the inquiry-based learning, which focuses on asking students questions and students asking each other questions. It's a process that moves it from one mind, the lecture approach, to many minds. 20 students grappling with the material, discussing it, asking questions, etc. I also agreed to be on this video because when we share our teaching strategies with others, I think we can all learn. And I really, really enjoy hearing other people's pedagogical methods, and so I wanted to share mine.
I think a benefit of the inquiry method of teaching is that it lets students talk through problems on their own, and that helps them learn, and it also creates dialogue that everybody can benefit from.
I think one of the biggest benefits is that there isn't a big power distance, so it's a little more conversational rather than kind of teacher-student. I think in some cases students closer in age can just relate better to each other. I think it provides good leadership skills as well as public speaking, crucial to the job market.
For me, going through what we're doing in class and kind of teaching the material, it helps me learn it a little better so that I do a better job of teaching the material to the students, and that way I get a better understanding and they get a full discussion about the topic as well.
Benefits of the inquiry-based learning is that students are actively engaged in the communication process. They're involved in the discussions. They're asking each other questions. It really creates a community of learners where everybody is invested in the process.
I think a benefit is that it's likely to be more attention-grabbing to the students, rather than a professor who just stands in front of the class for an hour, or maybe it's a night class for 3 hours and just lectures constantly. As someone who's gone through those kind of classes, I definitely prefer the ones that do more of an inquiry style, because it just makes it easier to maintain your focus and really get more out of the class. I mean, you're paying for that class, you're paying your tuition, so you might as well get the most out of it that you can. And I think that's the best way to get at it.
So one benefit of the inquiry style is a lot of different perspectives get thrown around when you allow for students to teach. I know that personally there's been some times where I think I have the right answer or I have the best answer, and one of my peers says something else and I kind of think about my answer and they kind of took the next step that I didn't about thinking, or they just took another angle about it and kind of one-upped me in a sense, and it allows you to kind of get inside their mind and open your mind yourself to answer questions.
I feel one of the benefits of students asking each other's questions is that you're able to kind of diverge from the topic, and students can take the conversation in whatever direction they want, but they can also use that time to make connections to other material, especially if it's in a class that multiple students have taken. I know that's happened a lot in classes I've taken, that when students are allowed to think and process and talk out loud with each other, they can help each other make connections between their studies that they've had here at BW. The benefit of students leading classroom discussions is that they're kind of forced to think critically about the material, and so they can't just sit there in a lecture class and kind of doze off and not really pay attention and only memorize what's needed for tests. But if you have to present material, then you have to be not an expert, but as close to it as you can get by reading the book and talking with people. So you kind of have to put a lot more effort into it, and then also work harder to digest the material for yourself.
For the students leading discussions is that they can show what they learn and kind of put it into a teaching format and kind of let them walk their way through it instead of just reading the material and talking through it, and kind of solidify in their mind that this is what they need to know and help other students learn from them as well.
The goal is to get students actively involved.